Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. Welcome to the Tuesday's stream, and for those who are watching this later, hello, and let me know down in the comments. I'm briefly gonna explain what we gonna do, even though it's gonna be pretty similar to what we do every week. We have about 30 photos for me to review, but before we do that, I have 2 interviews with winners from the previous rounds, as well as, yeah, that's it. 2 interviews with winners from the previous rounds. But before we start, let me say big thank you to everyone who is supporting this channel, joining the membership. And it's Benito Pangi, Marius Daskalu, 18th Jezičná Gymnasium Zagreb, Ket Mesarovic, Zanes Addiction, Jiří Kolařík, Brian Egerton, Tommaso, Tim McGraw, and David Ellison. Thank you very much. And for anyone who would like to join the membership, you can find it in the description or just below this window. All right. Before we move before we check, let me see. Before we check who made it to the finals, and before we actually check the interview, let me just show you. We have actually, I wanted to actually show you if I'm able to do that. Okay, I need to remove this from the collection. Okay, I'll open another window. So I wanted to show you the winner of round number 36. Okay. All right. So the finalists, we had this picture, this photo, this photo, this one, and this one. And okay, did I forgot to vote? All right, I think I'm gonna go for this one, the Dervovsky. So let me see. I have no idea who is leading at the moment, and it's okay. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on that. But the leading picture is Nori Takes Photos, which is this one. But yeah, I mean that's also pretty cool. That's also pretty cool. All right then. So, but I wanted to show you something else. Let's see. Okay, round number 36. 30. This was 36, and this was 30. 35. All right. This photo. This photo, this photo, this photo, and this photo, and then the winner was the Shutter Up. Okay, so we actually checked that last time. I just remembered. All right then. So before we move to the critique, before I'm gonna check out the critique, I'm gonna play the 2 interviews for you, and just before I do that, let me quickly check if the audio and everything is working. All right, so first interview is with Pranay, winner of round number 28 and 31. So enjoy the interview. Hello everyone, today I'm here with winner of rounds number 28 and 31, Pranay. Hello, Pranay. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Martin. Thank you for calling me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, great. First, I would like to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your photography approach.
Yeah, so I'm a mathematician turned photographer. So I'm studying photography in India right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing street photography for like a couple of years. And my approach is just to go out, observe the world, take a camera with you, and shoot what you like.
Okay. And what got
Yeah.
you into this genre? Why
I
street?
think this genre appealed to me because I personally don't have to do a lot in the genre. The
Mm-hmm.
world plays itself. So it's just I have to go observe and shoot. So I started doing nature photography, but I didn't find those objects that appealing. So I
Mm-hmm.
started shooting humans, and I was like, why not combine everything together? And
Mm-hmm.
then I started studying about street photography really well. I started studying Magnum and other magazines, and it just happened.
Are there particular photographers that you like?
Uh, there are a lot of photographers.
Mm-hmm.
So from okay, Trent Park, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and from India there is Vineet Vohra, Suresh
Oh yeah.
Nathanathan, Raghu Rai, Raghuveer Singh, a
Okay.
lot of them. Yeah,
All right. Can you tell us, let's start with the photo from the round 28. Can
sure.
you tell me a little bit about that?
So this was the picture when I first moved to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was just traveling as a tourist. I went to the Eiffel Tower to see it, and it
Mm-hmm.
was I think third or fourth picture of the day.
Okay.
So I wasn't going there to street. I was just there with my friends taking his pictures, and I just found this man. He was
Mm-hmm.
selling these small miniature Eiffel Towers, and he was
Okay.
laying them around. So it was
Oh
early
yeah.
morning. It was like 7 or 8 in the morning. The sky was very vivid, very dramatic. The clouds were there, and the man has had a dark skin, which
Okay.
really resonated with the tower, and all those white Eiffel Towers in front contrasted really well, and the
Yeah.
layers just filled the frame, and I was fortunate enough to be present there.
That's really interesting angle. Did you also try different angles, or did you just
I
thought
actually
I'm gonna
couldn't.
get down and
The only time when he was filling the frame was when he was keeping the Eiffel Tower on
okay.
the whatever the sheet he was putting the Eiffel Towers on, and that's only where he could have looked larger than the Eiffel Tower in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I think, a second long moment. So I didn't take a lot of frames.
All right. And the second photo from round 31, it's the one with the reflection and with this branch,
Uh,
or what is it?
Twig, yes.
Yeah. Where was it taken?
So this was taken in India. There's a state called Orissa.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a city called Puri. It is a beautiful city. It has a lot of beaches. So I was there in a workshop with a couple of mentors, and we were doing this as a part of the workshop. And
Mm-hmm.
I happened to, get out of the group of the students there. I just lost my way to some random beach, and I found this very interesting patch of sand. It was filled with water, but there were no
Mm-hmm.
waves. That water
Mm-hmm.
was still, and there was some small twig lying around. So I sat at that twig, keeping my camera to the ground level, and I think I waited
Okay.
for like 15, 20 minutes. And there was this small little girl up, like, I think meters away, like hundreds of meters away, and she
Mm-hmm.
opened her hands
Oh yeah,
in the sky. And there was a
yeah.
dog. I couldn't miss that moment. I had to click it,
Yeah.
and it worked out really well. I think I submitted the black and white version, but the color version is also there.
I also saw the color one,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful as well. Is the ground level your favorite level of
Yeah,
shooting?
I think the ground level is the most comfortable level for me
Uh-huh.
because you don't have to, fight to compose. You just have to sit there, play with reflections, play with
Uh-huh.
objects lying around to the ground level because that is the most interesting level. Nobody looks from the
Mm-hmm.
ground.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
like to be a snail, if you say so. I like to crawl. So that
Okay.
is the most interesting level, and So it just automatically gives a different perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Maybe
interesting.
for someone who is interested in more technical aspects, what camera do you use?
So I use a Fujifilm X-T30.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the lens I
And
have is the 1855, the kit lens.
okay. And do you ever shoot
I'm
with like a mobile phone, with a smartphone?
I do, but not a lot. So when I'm
Mm.
planning to shoot, I always take my camera. But when I am in a position where I can't shoot with my camera or I don't have a camera, I shoot pictures with mobile. There are a couple of pictures from my mobile phone which got recognized on Instagram. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So thank you for joining me today, and
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you for calling me. It was lovely talking to you.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day. You too.
So that was Pranay, and he takes beautiful pictures. I don't know if he uh, submitted for this round, but usually they are pretty cool, very beautiful. Uh, Another interview I have for you today is with Rosetta, who won round number 33. Enjoy the interview. Hello, everyone. Today I'm here with Rosetta, winner of round number 33. Hello, Rosetta. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me
Hi,
today.
I'm good. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to ask you to tell us a little bit more about you and your photography.
Okay, well, my name is Rosetta and I'm 40 years old and I'm professionally a nanny, but I started doing photography about a couple years ago during the pandemic. I started like a lot. Um, my boyfriend actually like introduced me to like street photography.
Uh-huh.
So we go together like to the city and I've always loved photography. I've always loved taking pictures ever since I was young. And especially of children and families
Mm-hmm.
and seeing people's emotions like that. And my sister's a doctor, and I said, "Hey, Tina, why don't you get me a camera for Christmas?" And it was just kind of like joking around. And she actually got me a Nikon D3500 to start with, and then I just started using it, getting to know it, and
Mm-hmm.
we do street photography. Sometimes we do like urban photography, check out abandoned places. And I've been like a second shooter a couple times for weddings. I did like a small little wedding on my own. And I do like family photo shoots once in a while. And some like friends wanted me to take pictures for their dating profiles. So I did that as well.
All
So yeah, and
right.
I also love nature photography as well.
Ah,
So
okay. And
yeah.
can you tell us a little bit more about the photo you submitted for the round number
Yeah,
33?
yeah. So we were in New York City, and my boyfriend is a very fast walker. So
Okay.
I was literally trying to catch up with him, and I seen all these kids in front of the North Pole bus, and it was close to Christmas time, and I had a
Mm.
little digi Samsung in my pocket actually because I wasn't in the mood to take the big clunky Nikon with me that day. So I said, "Oh my god, this just looks so cool." All these kids had these big smiles on their faces and they had the tickets and it reminded me of that movie where I got the golden ticket, Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
Charlie
yeah,
and the
yeah,
Chocolate Factory. That's what it
yeah,
reminded me of when I seen it.
yeah.
And I said, "I got to take this photo." So I was just like walking so fast to catch up to my boyfriend and I just snapped it. I don't know, it was just kind of like an instinct and I like the way it came out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was wondering because it's pretty different than what you usually
yeah,
posting. So is that something
yeah,
like you went for, or were you surprised when you kind of like
yeah,
found it in the camera
yeah.
in the phone?
No, no, I wanted to take it. I showed it to my mom, and she goes, "It looks like a picture that would be like in a magazine." And then I looked at it, and I was just like, "She's kind of right." It's just different and kind of cool, unique. But everyone has a different perspective when it comes to
Oh yeah,
photography. Sometimes literally me and my boyfriend are taking photos of the same thing, but it's like at a different angle or different
oh yeah,
lighting, and we look at them and we compare, and we're like, "Oh wow." It's cool to see that people have different perspectives of how they see the world and how they see things.
oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much and congratulations. Thank you for joining me,
Thank you.
and have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.
All right, so that was Rosetta, winner of round number 33, and she takes pretty nice photos. All right, so now is the time to start with the critique. Hello Khalid Ismail, hello from Qatar. All right, that's so cool. You living in Qatar or just visiting? I didn't have too much time to check this year's football World Cup, mostly because of the kids. But I used to watch them, like, regularly, and hopefully I will return to having more time to watch them in the future. But yeah. All right. So let's start with the critique. And the first finalist for this round, okay, is this picture. And this one is from one of my walks in Paris, says the photographer. And what's pretty cool is that you can actually, let me bring my trackpad to my reach. You can actually see the photographer in that shot, and maybe some, is it hand? It almost looks like another face, but that's cool. The colors are nice. The subject is okay. It's I kind of find that old people tend to look better in the photos. I mean, they tend to dress kind of like more classically, and it kind of shows in the photos. Otherwise, the moment, nothing special. It's just a man sitting in the bus. But it's clear. There is, the depth of focus. It just we have in focus both seats, basically the inside of the bus or train or whatever it is. It's okay photo. I don't really dislike it, but the moment is just ordinary moment. But nice shot. Thank you for your submission. And this goes to the collection. And this round is round 37. Already 37. Alright. And Benny de Coster. Alright. I really like your color edits. Looking forward to talk to you about your pictures. I don't know if I haven't reached out or haven't responded yet. It's been still kind of hectic, but I'm getting to it. Maybe tomorrow. I will see. Sorry for that. All right, we have finalist number 2, Man on the Bike. And this one doesn't really have a particular story. The thing is that the exposure is, I don't really love that exposure because the sky is kind of oversaturated, and then it's overexposed. Overexposed is the word. And then the cars are underexposed. If we're going for one of these, I would like to see, the rest being correctly exposed. Maybe going for the silhouette and then having the top of the photograph correctly exposed. Or maybe it was like that. I don't know, maybe just the sky is white and then the buildings are alright. composition wise, I think it's okay. We have like leading lines to the subject, but you know, the way the subject is used in this one is just going for the silhouette, and so this photo relies on the design, and design wise I think it's still a little bit messy with those two cars and then with the walker. I think this photo would work much better if you know, there were no cars and no people and just the cyclist. That being said, I like how the cyclist is positioned on the most, it's kind of like the most contrasting element in the photo, so that's, I think is great. Moment wise, like the previous one, nothing really too special. It's an okay shot. I don't really love some parts of it, but I think like the idea is something you can build on. So thank you for your submission, finalist number 2. Like this one I like much more, I guess. It's even funny, like someone on the skates and with the bicycle. I think that's pretty cool photo. That one, I don't know. But thank you for your submission. And the third finalist, Zox Image from Orlando. When I saw this one in a thumbnail, I kind of thought like, why is this not in the black and white? Because I don't think the colors do anything like special with this picture. This photo is shot in Bilbao outside the old Alhondia multimedia center, where there is always some art exhibition. Library, swimming pool on the roof, always something to do, and of course to photograph, like in this case where a man sitting alone on a chess place. Visit Bilbao. Alright. I actually visited Bilbao when I was when I did the Camino de Santiago, but you know, didn't really have time to go to explore the city or something. Yeah, like it's nice play with the patterns. We have the chess patterns over here on the table, and then the man. I just feel like maybe turning it into the black and white and maybe making it more contrasty would make a better shot. Those just my thoughts based on when I first saw this photo as a small thumbnail, which I thought like, well, this is interesting because of all those patterns and stuff, but it's just why is it in color? All those patterns and stuff. So, thank you and congratulations. And Orlando, okay. There are no really new images from the last time we checked this. Looking forward to see some of your new photos. Alright then. So those are your 3 finalists for this round, and now we move on to this open waters. Sorry for me yawning. I'm a little bit. It's just an evergreen, you know, streaming this late in the night. Not being able to sleep too much gets me tired. But I brought myself a coffee, which I have almost finished. Let's see when it kicks in. So for this one, it is a little too dark for my taste, and I feel like the intention here was to work with the shadows and light, right? And it's kind of exposed for the light areas, even though this we getting a little bit overexposed. And it's just like a graphical thing with a man sitting on a bench or something on his phone, I guess. But it's not too visible. It's not a bad photo. It's just with those photos relying on design, I'm a little bit more, I would say, not critical, but I just expect more from them. I just expect, like, I see them and I'm like, wow, this is, something. And unfortunately, this photo doesn't do it for me. And I don't think maybe, just those patterns are not enough this time. Sorry about that, Matthew. But you have some beautiful photos on your Instagram, so thank you for your submission. All right, endless walk on an endless beach. I kind of like it. I don't know if it's like HDR or if the sky is, if it was like that. Obviously the dog is pretty cool, this figure of two people, maybe kissing or whatever are they doing. It's a little bit too bad that those people which are the main interest of the photo, are clunked together. If they were separated, if the man was like separated, this would be, oh, that's actually probably a girl. Probably a better picture. But everything else seems fine. There are some elements which are nicely separated, and I like it. I think one of the better photos we have here today. So let's put it into the collection for now. And okay, and the Instagram doesn't work for this one. Okay. And now everything crashed. All right. Whatever. Let's start the browser again. Sometimes I preload this and sometimes it turns to be too much for my memory, I guess. One of my most favorite pictures from this round. Really like it. After shooting in 35mm for some time, switched it up for 55mm. Didn't come out as I expected, but still excellently interesting thing. I really like it. There's something about having a blurry subject in the foreground, as I think you just try to focus on it and then realize it's out of focus. You go to the background in this case is interesting. I also like how it's black and white, because you can imagine in Japan all of those signs would be colorful and would maybe draw my attention away. I think it's great. Maybe if the bus wasn't there, that's just like my only thing, but I really like it, like a strong contender for this round. Let me know what you guys think about it. But so far we have seen some pretty nice photos. Tokyo's and street. Alright. You have some great eye for locations. When I'm visiting Japan, I'm gonna let you know and we can do a photo walk. All right then. Moving on to the next one. And it's a little bit similar to another shot we have. Let me see. It's somewhere. Anyways, we're gonna find it sooner or later. You know, just a dark shot with light coming through. This is not a bad shot or anything. It's just, I don't know if it is not like too much of a, because like nothing is really happening in that space which, you know, my eyes are naturally drawn to. And I can see this, you know, if it was part of the building or part of the restaurant, I can see this photo hanging on the walls of that building, of that restaurant, to say, hey, look, this is how the place is so beautiful. You know, look what we have here. But I find this exposed for highlights is being a little bit overused lately. And so if this was like a first time I saw exposed for highlights photo, I would be like, wow, this is cool, you know, because the colors kind of pop and everything. But I've seen like so many of those photos that, you know, it has to be a really amazing photo to kind of surprise me. So otherwise it's a nice photo. Thank you for your submission, Sidhant. Yep. Okay, and you submitted last time. Someone submitted photo with the boy on the roof against the sunset. I felt like it's a really similar photo to this one. But anyway, thank you for your submission. Next up, we have Canadian Winter. And what I like about this, I mean, it's nice. It's shot from the ground level, or you know, someone very small shot this, or is it like uphill? But what I really like about this is, you know, obviously the subject it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's like rule of thirds, but it's kind of on the intersection, and you have this pattern of the bricks on the wall, and then how your eyes kind of slide on the wall. It's disrupted just a little bit because the subject is kind of camouflaged in there, and that's what's funny about this photo. Those bricks looks huge, nice scale in the image. Can't help it, but the person blends in the background sadly due to similar tone of a person on the wall. I mean, if it wasn't, I think it's great because it's something different. If it was a person with a white jacket, it would just be shot of a person walking against the wall, like that. I think it's a little like twist kind of thing, and I kind of like it. It's not enough for me to say this goes to the finals, but I think it's a nice shot. Like, I can imagine having portfolio of like main subjects blending into the background, and it could be kind of like a funny portfolio, like, look, where is the subject? You have a great eye for design, for composition. That is beautiful. Love this. All right, thank you. Next up is, okay, so this is the shot I was talking about, and this one goes, this is also exposed for highlights, but this doesn't black out the rest of the picture, which I think in this case could have helped because of the car. I don't really love the car there. Now let's imagine, because this can be easily, I think, done in the post process. Let's imagine you just make this all black. Then what you have the flag, you have the man which is kind of leaving the spot. I would rather see him in the middle, but then he might have not had the legs spread, you wouldn't catch him in the middle like that. Then the flags, I don't know, I don't think it's quite there yet. I think the idea of exposing 4 highlights is interesting at this place, but not really enough for me this time. But thank you for your submission. And those are beautiful colors. I really like it. All right, thank you for your submission. Moving on to the next picture. It's a cycle. The title I did not understand. It's a cycle. I don't know. But it's a nice photo. It's grainy, which I don't really mind. I don't know if that's like a film grade. I would like to see maybe a tiny bit more of contrast. The people, composition wise, there are some slight like composition errors in the sense that this kid is blending a little bit with the subject behind him. Then this person is kind of clashing with the umbrella. But other than that, I think with a little bit of waiting for maybe a better spread of the people, I think it could have been a very nice shot. This one this way I like it, but not that much that I would say, okay, this is a finalist photo. But you take some beautiful photos. Look, they are like really nicely spread. I think the subjects, like, yeah, you have a great eye for that. Thank you for your submission. Moving on to the next picture, and this one is a little bit better with the subject spread. It's again, I wouldn't say like Alex Vab-ish. It would have to be a little more colorful, I guess. But it's, if he could move this person a tiny bit so it's not clashing with the lag, but I don't mind that too much. It's just it's great idea. It's better than the previous one. It's a cycle, but still missing something a little bit from this shot. Don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. But we have nice emotions on the faces. Two are looking at the camera. And it's definitely interesting how he kind of sticks out of the frame. That's what I like about this shot. Thank you for your submission, Debanjan Majundar. Sorry for butchering your name, guys. And great eye for colors. This is beautiful. This is also nice. You take some pretty nice photos. Looking forward to see more of them. All right. Next up, this one, I don't know if that's like a Christmas shot or if that's like just a regular lighting. Taken on the Museum Square of Amsterdam. I was biking home when I saw a mom and kid walking through these trees. I jumped off my bike and grabbed my camera from my bag as quickly as I could. I got one shot of right before they walked out from under the lights. I ended up being one of my favorites from the past few months. This was shot on film using a film stock called Cinestill 800T, 800T, which gives the lights that red glow. Okay. I was biking home when I saw a mom and kid walking through these trees. I jumped off my bike and grabbed my camera from my bag as quickly as I could. I got one shot of right before they walked out from under the lights. I ended up being one of my favorites from the past few months. This was shot on film using a film stock called Cinestill 800T, which gives the lights that red glow. Okay. known as halotation. If you like this, okay. I think what makes the shot, I honestly didn't really notice those two, but what makes the shot is the color contrast between red and green. That is beautiful. That's interesting that the film stock does that. I thought those lights were red, and it's just, I can imagine almost anything happening there being a very nice shot because of that green tint and red contrast. And talking about subject, I don't think this subject is anything too special because they are kind of like overlapping each other. It's not really recognizable, but I really like the shot for the mood. So this goes to the collection. All right. All right. Thank you for your submission. Here is the shot. Perfect. Looking for... Is this a face you're going for? Okay. Looking forward to see more of your photos. I really like it. It's a girl or it's a woman. Is she drawing? It's just like the perspective and the juxtaposition. You know, so many questions. No story with that, but this is quite cool. I think it's almost like if she was lying on the ground, you know, looking up to the camera, it would almost be like a post photo, like something going for the magazine, or just this is a cool idea. I like it. Goes to the collection. And some colorful photos. Is it from India again? India is just such a powerful country. Or is it... Where is it? Chennai. Yeah, sorry for my ignorance. My geography is not at the top of my game, I guess. Alright, thank you very much. Oh, it's I see. So this photo, it's a portrait of a man. We're missing a little bit of his feet, which is a shame, but the face expression, I can even imagine this being cropped a little bit in, just, you know, to kind of emphasize, because this photo is all about his expression. And I think maybe you don't need really the bottom part of the photo. The background is a little bit messy, but as for the expression, I kind of like it. So this goes to the collection as well. Thank you for your submission, Dwayne. Some cool, some very nice black and white photos. Alright then. Moving on to the next one. Faceless. It almost looked like the figurine had eyes and you kind of remove them with like a, I don't know, eraser or something. It's so first of all, when I looked at it, I thought it's a cool picture. It's a great idea. Just few things feels a little bit not balanced, a little bit left heavy, as you know, you have something light on the left side, not on the right side. I would maybe consider moving a little bit more to the left and, you know, filling this dark space with this, or the other way around, going to the right. And for what it is, you know, it's figurine, it's not going anywhere. You kind of could have avoided this top of the background kind of thing. It's in the wardrobe. Why is it sticking out of the figurine's head? You could have crunched a little bit to move yourself down a little bit and get this, you know, hidden behind the figurine. That's what I would do. But otherwise, great idea. Thank you for your submission. And Tamer takes some very nice black and white photos. Thank you. Corner to corner. And that's a title I didn't really understand. Composition wise, everything is fine. You know, nothing is like cut off or everything. It's straight. There is a subject, there is another subject. It's kind of like balancing each other. It's just maybe exposure wise I could see this being a little bit more contrasty, but I think it's fine. The moment wise, just, you know, nothing to write home about. I know I say it quite often, but it's just, it's such an ordinary moment, not captured in some kind of like very special way that would make me say, alright, I love the colors, I love the mood. I mean, you're going for the black and white, you're going for the information first. It has to be something which makes me kind of think, oh wow, that's interesting moment. Also, I don't know if the wall behind her is just a little bit lighter or if this was done in the post to make her kind of stand out. She's fine, like a great figure to ground relationship with the great Christmas tree in the center. But yeah, like I said, nothing really too crazy, call it moment wise. You didn't really leave your Instagram or portfolio, so make sure to do it next time if you want me to check out your Instagram or featured you on About Photography Critique Instagram. Alright then, I think we had a little similar shot like that. Once again, you know, leading lines, composition, everything is kind of okay, even though you could say the subject is dark on the dark background. It's a little bit blending together. Not the biggest fan of that. I can imagine better subjects over there. Nice rhythm with the columns, with the lights, nicely in the center. It looks like it's even straight. It's just two people in the dark, in the distance, walking, shot from behind. I would even say that it would look better without those characters. I don't know. It's just like the situation is ordinary, and then the design is fine, but like not like super fine. So it would overcompensate for the lack of the moment. So I think it's a decent shot. Just wait for better characters to enter the scene. This one is again same principles, but subject facing forward, and right there I can say I like it a little better than this one. It's just the nature of nature of having people walking towards you and not away from you. Moving on to the next one, and once again, an ordinary moment, someone just, on the phone or reading or standing, capturing the person, but this time this is not in black and white, this is in color, and this time I don't know if that's a film effect or something. Hello, this shot is shot on film, taken on Ultramax. I first noticed the silhouette and concentrated on it, not paying attention to the rich colors I would be getting. It is one of my favorite photos taken on film so far. Alright, so I don't know if that's like a film effect or if the light was crazy like that, but it's super unusual, super kind of interesting light. You can even see the reflection because this was shot probably through the window, and that's what makes this shot work, because I feel like the colors by itself are interesting enough that I wouldn't necessarily say it would make it to the final 3, but definitely one of the better photographs, or just like better way to capture a very ordinary moment. Like that's one way to do it if you kind of find yourself just around like ordinary moments. Let's say like this one, people standing in front of the bus. You have some creative ways to kind of capture that moment, to make it interesting, and it can be colors, it can be angle, it can be shutter speed, aperture, focusing, whatever. The shot with the Christmas tree before everything was kind of perfect, but also it was a little bit mundane like everything else, and then it has to be an interesting situation if you don't have an interesting technique. I like it. I don't know if I really love how tilted it is. I don't really mind the grain. I like how simple it is. I would maybe think about making it straight in the Lightroom, but then I don't know if we wouldn't lose the part of this picture. It's a simple photo, maybe a father and a child sitting next to each other, but I like it. I mean, if you have more of those photos, then it could make a great series. Thank you for your submission. Alright then. Winter Sun, New York City. Just when, because I still have in mind the previous photo, this one looks a little bit more busy, and some might even say too busy. Obviously the main focus is on those two, and I wouldn't even be afraid to zoom in a little bit, because it's more about their expressions as it is about their, being in the composition, because they're being cut off. And the other people in the picture are not adding anything to it. So I would say, if you want to photograph this busy background, you kind of have either like only two subjects, or someone interesting, someone isolated. I know it can be very difficult when shooting in crowded places, but it's just how it is. If you have like too many subjects kind of like complicated, overlapping on very busy background, it's gonna make a little messy photo, I guess. But thank you for your submission. Next. That's a cool profile picture. That is really cool. All right. Thank you for your submission. What is this? Round thirds. It's this one, probably. All right, Jan. Oh, now I see the cat. This makes me yawn as well. Not a bad photo. I like how there is some kind of depth because the photographer was shooting through something. I don't know what is it, like a fence or something, but it's interesting. I don't mind it. It's nice, and then the photo could even work maybe without a cat. But the cat is kind of like a nice touch. I don't think it's... Let's nominate this photo. Let's put it into the group for now, and alright, and I've lost the Instagram of the photographer. Is there? Not sure if there is an Instagram. Alright, so make sure to comment on Instagram next time so I can feature you. Is this one? Alright. The edit. I'm not the biggest fan of the edit. Somehow the colors are weird, I guess. Yeah. Just a quick moment. Okay. I hear some kids crying in the background, but hopefully it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be a little more quiet so we don't wake them up. It's kind of mysterious, but maybe not mysterious enough for me to, I don't know, just the purples are, I don't know, I would like to have the option to move the subject around to kind of see if it would work better in different spot, but I don't know, now I look at it more and more, I'm starting to maybe like it. Okay, let's put it into the description. no, into the description. Let's put it into the collection. And I'm gonna do a quick break just to check the kids, and I'll be right back. Alright, moving on to the next picture. And the Instagram is there. So feel free to comment your Instagram or portfolio next time so I can check it out and promote it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 photos remaining. So, silhouettes in a shopping center. I don't really think that the color being present from the lights does something. I think overall silhouettes as overall silhouettes it's nice. I just not the biggest fan of that orange and the top of the frame. I would consider cropping it a little bit. maybe even changing the aspect ratio, but maybe just cutting off something like maybe cutting it off here and just cutting it off, because I don't think top of the photo helps here, unfortunately. People having coffee in a shopping center. The bright winter sky creates silhouettes of the customers. All right, but it's a nice use of silhouettes. The moment is not like a top moment, so I would say the design alone can't carry the photograph, but it's fine. Thank you for your submission. Moving on to the next one. When I first looked at this photo, it almost looked like the person is asking the other one to marry her. I thought he's like kneeling, like on his knees, but it's just taking a photo. The photographer is working with some very challenging light, I guess. It was shooting straight against the sun, picking the exposure, and it's almost okay. So the moment is someone is taking a selfie of someone else in front of the boat, and there is another person looking at them. So I would say, nothing to write home about. Overall, I don't know. With this one, it's just the color is, I kind of like the colors. It's almost like monochromatic, just a white, just a yellow, kind of orange-ish and black. But this subject is a little bit lost against the boat, but it's kind of a little bit popping with the white t-shirt or whatever it is. Overall, something about this picture feels off. Maybe like a balance of the subjects. Maybe if this person was sitting over here, I would kind of feel like it's better. Yeah, maybe feeling a little bit left heavy. But thank you for your submission. And also feel free to include your Instagram so I can tag you. Departures from El Cayo, taken in Santiago de Cuba. I kind of like the shot. It's the edit, it feels a little bit over edited. I don't know if this is like straight from the camera or if this is just a saturation. It feels like oversaturated. I don't know why. So the sky, I don't know, maybe it was like that, but it feels a little too sharp, too oversaturated. But overall composition, even though the background is pretty messy, I think it's fine. I think it's kind of like, because like when I say messy background or when I say messy image, what I mean is that it's hard for the viewer to kind of recognize what's being shown, and this is pretty clear. And creating some kind of layers, I would maybe make some things out of focus, maybe focus on the boat, having him out of focus, having the background out of focus a little bit, just to make this. But I think it's nice. Let's put it into the collection. All right. And maybe, I don't know if the colors are off or my monitor is off. Yeah, I always ended up doing something with the true tone and not realize that my colors are off. I once edited like a whole set of shots thinking, wow, this was really warm, but then I turned off the true tone and I realized I have to do it all over again. But thank you for a submission. Night dialogue. The picture is quite complex. I don't really know why the reflection was used. Maybe just for the sake of reflection. It's pretty busy and it doesn't really help that. I don't know if this is the photographer. No, it was shot like this. Okay. So I am not the biggest fan of this picture because it feels too busy for no reason. It's like it has nice colors, nice kind of like elements in it, but yeah, I would really like to see some kind of purpose for this. And thank you, Andre. Looking forward to see more of your submissions. I'm gonna do the last 6 a little bit quicker because my kids are crying. I'll just need to go there to see what's going on. So I'll just go through them real quick. And this one, a little too dark. I would like to see more contrast in this. The scene, even though it's busy, it doesn't really feel like it's a problem here. Just the exposure. I would really like to see a better exposure of this. But thank you for your submission. Okay, another one. This kind of reminds me the first shot we had with the guy sitting from a profile and in the bus. It feels like a quick snap. Like, what's interesting about this is his face expression, but why it feels like a snap is that there's too much space above him, which does really nothing, and then the feed's being cut off. Also the lamppost growing out of his head, not the biggest fan of that. But thank you for your submission. Really fan of this photo. Not sure if that's a film effect or something, but that's pretty cool, especially because, you know, all of these characters are separated, the colors are nice, and this is pretty unusual. You know, the worker on the, what's that, Archon or something like that. That's pretty cool. This goes to the collection. Okay, let's put it into the collection. And moving on to the next one. This one, funny window. Okay. I don't know, you know, those people being cut off like that, not the biggest fan in this photo. For this, yes, we have some good elements in the photo, like the expressions and something, and the middle finger, but I would really like to see more context, maybe to shoot it vertically to kind of show what's going on down there. Yeah, I think the cutoff is the biggest problem for this photo. This one is really nicely focused. It feels like it was taken with expensive lens. I don't know. Somehow feels like it. The moment wise, you know, nothing too special. Shot between two cars, man feeding pigeons. I'd probably try to go a little closer and maybe shoot the man through the pigeons. Or somehow this feels like a snap just going around, but I have to say, very nicely exposed, nicely composed, nicely focused, nice focus, but just needs a little bit more work on the moment. This one, called Cocktails for Breakfast, it's Paris, why not? Okay. It almost feels like a photo from like a Google Street Walk. I don't know if the lens was kind of wide, like super wide. It's very kind of blurry or pixelated, or I don't know if it's film. Moment wise, I don't really know what to focus on, as it feels like something should be happening over here. that all of this is kind of a setup for something to happen in here, which is not. So that a little bit confuses me. So I'm not really sure what's the main focus, what's the idea behind this picture. That's my main critique. This one, kind of a classical shot. You kind of get everything right. You've got all these windows, and then you kind of have almost perfectly separated them with those steel kind of, you know, frames. But it's like, what's going on there? Nothing really, you know, super special happening there. Just 4 people standing talking to each other. If you're going for the rhythm or something like that, I think it has to be nailed perfectly. If it's not, it just becomes like a snapshot or like a casual photo of pretty mundane subjects. So before we finish, we are gonna take a look at the finalists. Let me bring it up. Alright, so this is the first, second, third, and then let's see. This one stays. I really like it. I will remove the beach. Ooh, dots are that's. I'll remove this portrait. Let's see the lights. I'll keep this one. Remove the Cuba. So we should leave just one from this. I'm gonna remove this one, remove the yarn, and now we left with either this one or this one. How many? No. We have to remove 2. Yeah, I think I'll probably keep this one as I think those are pretty similar. So sorry guys. So those are your 6 finalists. Hopefully I will upload the final video soon, and looking forward to see more of your submissions. Thank you and have a good night.